the bronzer and blush how-to. So many of you take your bronzer brush, you know you're guilty, you drag it across your bronzer and you do this number right here. Bronzer is not supposed to make you look like you have a tan unless you're doing your entire body, and I bet a lot of you guys are not bronzing your arms and your chest on a daily basis. Bronzer is a contouring product. My bronzer comes in a compact like this, comes in 3 shades, golden contour, warm contour, and mauve contour, each for a different skin tone. So the number one most important thing is to match the bronzer to your undertone of your skin. I see a lot of women with pink or red tones to their skin using a golden yellow bronzer, and you just look like you have jaundice. Make sure that you use something that matches the enhancement of your skin tone on your décolleté. If you tan kind of a warm tone, you will need warm contour, which is what I use. If you have more of an olive undertone to your skin and you tan more yellow, green, golden, you need golden contour. If you're one of those women, typically more of a Scottish, Irish, English descent, and you tan really, really red on your chest, you want to bring that warmth into your face by using the mauve contour. I use the warm contour, and I'm going to start with the flat contour brush, and I work it into the compact, and I'm only going to put this in the areas of my face that I want to bring inwards. Rule of thumb, highlighters typically have shimmer or a glow to them. It brings your face features outward. Something that is matte and bronze and darker than your skin tone is going to bring it inwards. So make sure when you're applying this, you start at the knob of your ear and go to the edge of your nose, on and below the cheekbone, and into the temples. Most women are going to do what I call the C shape. You're kind of buffing it into your hairline, temples, and on and below the cheekbone. Remember, anywhere I'm putting this product is bringing it inward. If you have a really large forehead, you will use more around the forehead and do a complete half moon around the face. But I just focus it on and below the cheekbone the most. And what this does is it adds dimension to your face. I call this my cheekbone implant. If you look from one side of my face, I look really round and kind of a flat look. This one I have more dimension to my face. I'm going to do the other side. And I know by habit you're wanting to drag that all the way across like this and then dust everywhere else. Please do not do that. Keep your bronzer off of your T-zone area. I want this part of my face to be highlighted, brighter, and come forward. So this is going to be free of bronzer. This area right here, I want to come inward. That's where I'm using the bronzer. You've probably heard of the 3 or the E shape. That's for women who have really masculine jawlines. That's when you would bring it not only here, but back down here on the jawline. I do not have that, so I skip that, and that is very rare. I know a lot of artists talk about doing the 3 or the E, but that's only for prominent jawlines. If you have a really wide nose, contouring can also be done on the edges of the nose. So by adding bronzer here and here, you slim down the sides of the nose, which makes the highlight come forward more, and it makes the sides come in more. If your chin comes outwards, you could also dust a little bronzer on the chin to push that back. Most importantly is my neck lift trick. It's done with the same product that I used on and below my cheekbones, but I apply it from here to here. So if you take a look in the mirror and you feel like your foundation and your chest color is darker than what you're seeing here, it's because you cast a shadow. So when the sun comes down, it skips this whole area, which makes the sun damage look more obvious. Also, as we age, things start to head down south. When you feel like this white part is starting to hang downwards, this next step is very, very important to give you the instant neck lift. Dab a little bit of bronzer on the flat contour brush, dust it behind your ears if you pull your hair back, and go all underneath your jawline here. This adds a shadow underneath the jawline, pushing everything upwards. If you have a lot of sun damage on your neck, chest, and arms, this becomes a lot more obvious and looks a lot more white. So you want to make sure you focus a lot of bronzer right underneath here to get rid of that turkey neck, as we call it. I know by habit, a lot of you want to take your blush and apply it from here to here. That is very 1993. You want to make sure that you are 2012 and you're applying your blush only where it belongs, which is on the apple of the cheek. This is my blush, comes in 4 shades. Glowing Apples is the one I'm going to use. That's the most common shade. It kind of changes from a pink to a peach. And since you want to match your blush to your lip color, I like this blush because it self-adjusts to whatever you're wearing on your lips. So I use the blush brush, which is a little bit of an angled, more of a small head blush brush. I'm not really into the big puffy blush brushes because I feel like you can't get it in the area where you need it. So I like to use something with a smaller head. So I work it into the product, and when you look in the mirror to apply your blush, you want to smile. And when you smile, the apples of your cheeks should pop. That's where you want the blush to go. No more ear to nose. That looks like a racing stripe of pink, and that's not where we naturally flush or blush. So if you notice, I'm keeping it just on the apples. And this one has a little bit of a glow, so when I smile, it highlights the light. And blush is more of a personal preference. You can use as much or as little as you'd like. This video completes the bronzer and blush.